What's up, guys? So I know I'm not Casey here today, but I am his sister, and he convinced me to make a video for him. So I'm going to do that right now, and today's video is gonna be on ways to get your crush to chase you.
Oh well, this is gonna be great. Getting advice from a young lady about how to court young women. There's no way this could possibly go wrong.
Now, all of this is from girl perspective, so I know he usually in his videos tells guys not to trust what a girl says.
Yes, and for very good reason. The reason why is because usually young ladies aren't the most self-aware individuals. I mean, they say one thing and they oftentimes mean another, or they say one thing and then their actions betray them to pick or have strong sexual relationships with sometimes the literal opposite of what they describe as what they want. Because in reality, what women really want is for you to exist presently so as whatever they like, desire, whether it be you know, super Chad, strong, muscular, quarterback-esque jock character, or whether you be a skinny, odd, strange scene kid with long, shaggy hair. I mean, whatever they want. Or I mean, even if it just be a nigga, a thug, a gangster of so. If you exist presently so, then the woman will want you. And then what they do after that point is they kind of project, or they kind of hope that you're an alright human being, kind of just after that point afterwards. I mean, it's what people do in general, but it's especially easier to see with women because women are the ones that are sifting through lots of options with men usually, rather than the opposite way around for a young man. So the reason why you don't normally take advice from women is because for as much as they give the lip service that they like X, Y, and Z, what they usually pick is A, B, and C, and they just kind of hope X, Y, and Z falls into place. Meaning that any advice any woman gives you only works if the woman already likes you to begin with. Case in point.
But I've grown up with him, so I've kind of learned a lot about what I actually like and what I'm actually into.
Now, I could interpret this in one of two ways. You could either be being facetious, meaning that you kind of already knew what you liked before he said anything, and his input is unnecessary and you're probably wiser. Except you didn't really say that with a lot of sarcasm, which means if I interpret it the other way, that you meant that literally, like you didn't understand what you liked before you got the input of your brother to tell you, this does not bode well and shows exactly why we should not be taking advice from young ladies and trying to court young ladies. It's like trying to take advice from a fish on how to fish them. And yeah, I got that one from Patrice, but I mean, I could use antelope or I can use deer. The analogy remains the same. You can't really ask the prey and the best methods of which to hunt them, because prey don't want to be caught.
My boyfriend also loves Casey, and he got me, so.
So? What, did you pull the sword out of the stone? Did you pull Caliborn out of the stone? Wait, are you the once and future king of Britain? Can you wield the sword Excalibur? What? What does that mean to us? Okay. Here's a big problem with ladies. They kind of overestimate their own value, right? Like and this is actually a really interesting example of how women self-objectify because what she's commenting on is the fact that like she's a cute girl, right? And you know, like because she's pretty, you know, that's the value to her boyfriend. Like her boyfriend's a cool guy because he was able to date her, and it's like, well, I mean, are you a good person? Do you have virtue? Values? Are you intelligent? Like, come on, let's be real. Like you, come on. Like you're not reading a bunch of good books, you know, like you're not really all that special. You're just a cute white lady. That's what you are. You know, and ladies, that's how a lot of women kind of measure their own success and their own worth and value. And I think it's important to kind of point it out to show you that, like, even ladies think of themselves in this manner as like material objects or like adornments to a man.
The first way to make your crush chase you is by making her aware that you have other options on the table.
Oh my jeez.
What I mean by this is that if you show her that you have other girls that are interested in you, it kind of provides like urgency for her to want you more, but that actually means that she kind of gets jealous.
Okay, point one, as I just said, This only matters if the woman already likes you to begin with. Because if she doesn't like you, there would be no sense of urgency. In fact, if any woman would then obtain urgency to keep you around, it would mean that she's trying to manipulate you, not because she actually likes you. I mean, if the woman wanted you, then she would want you. And if the woman did like you, you don't need to make her jealous because she already likes you, and then you can just proceed forward. You see what I'm saying? So this may accent the desire she already has, but this actually still only works if the woman in question is desperately insecure, because any individual that has security would not feel jealous. What does it mean to feel jealousy, my friends? It means that you want something that you don't have. You covet something that another person owns or possesses. Any woman that's secure in herself would say, well, either you want me or you want Sabrina. If you want me, then you'll pick me, and I'll be alright with that. Now, of course, again, I understand that people in general, it's not particularly women, but people in general don't have that degree of, dare I would say, self-respect or confidence or security. It might be better, you know. This would work well when you're trying to make someone that's already insecure want you more. However, relationships should never be predicated on a sense of insecurity. Why? Because the entire purpose of having a relationship is to secure it so your children will have a strong family unit. Once again, my brothers and my sisters, if you do not intend on trying to have a family with this individual at some point, you're probably better off leaving them the hell alone and doing anything else in your life. So again, one, this only works if the woman's already interested in you, and if she is, there's no fucking reason to make her jealous. And two, relationships should not be predicated on insecurity or desperation. They should be predicated on honor and integrity and people that actually want to be around each other, because they have a much stronger and grander purpose as to why they're even talking to each other to begin with.
Now, if you have no one coming after you, she might just think that you're like not wanted by other girls.
That is what that would mean, yes.
Now, if you have no one coming after you, she might just think that you're like not wanted by other girls, so like why would she want you? But if you show that you have other girls wanting your attention as well, it shows that you're kind of a guy that's like a catch.
I want to take a moment for us to kind of analyze the fact that young ladies seem to have this follower mentality, this need to look at what other people are doing and emulate them or follow them and be led rather than for young ladies to be leaders, which to me, I guess, opens up a whole can of worms that we probably should be discussing at some period in time. But if this be the case, that women are so weak-minded as to where they believe that just because lots of people want something that it means it's valuable, then I think that might be a little bit of an issue that ladies need to discuss amongst themselves. But more to it than that, I also kind of want to ask, how in the flip are you even supposed to mention the fact that you have lots of other girls in like any natural conversation? Like, how do you like naturally bring that up? Like, at what point would you be able to naturally like indicate or show that other people are interested in you if you're focused on talking to a girl? That just seems totally unreasonable. Like, in any point in time to like bring up randomly, yo, so Shirley was texting me the other day. Like, I don't know even, how do you even bring that up?
Why would she want you? But if you show that you have other girls wanting your attention as well, it shows that you're kind of a guy that's like a catch. So making her aware that you have other options on the table is a huge way to get her attention. Number two, also focused on attention. Don't give her too much attention. I know many guys are going to be confused by this.
It's not so much that there'd be a great amount of confusion as much as would be annoyance. Again, how am I supposed to facilitate the creation of a family with a young lady if I can't give her bloody attention? Of course, it would imply that these individual ladies aren't using relationships in order to create family units. They're using them as a source of validation. So if you remove her ability to obtain the validation, it makes her want to try to negate it from you because you just took it away from her. So she starts chasing after it. Which, again, as strong young men that have some degree of compassion, honor, and integrity, this is not an individual woman you should be trying to court to begin with. But of course, that's just bloody wishful thinking. You guys want to get your dicks wet, so.
I know many guys are going to be confused by this, but if you give a girl too much attention right off the bat, they're most likely going to think that you're coming off as clingy.
Yeah, you see, any woman that thinks you're coming off as clingy is either raised by a single mother, out of her mind, or C, you probably are coming on a bit too strong. I mean, I'm not going to say it's beyond the realm of possibility that an individual male can come off as too strong. But usually when girls say that a dude is being clingy, it's not really that the guy is like desperately trying to keep her around or keep her attention or see her very often. It's more that the woman just isn't used to a man acting with integrity and just trying to keep talking to her because he actually likes her. Women are mostly used to being called to get, their guts dug out, rather than women being called to like have normal conversations and just chat and spend time together, like just walking around or just talking on the phone. Like, women aren't really used to that. So when a guy just calls the woman or just talks to the woman or just tries to have a normal conversation, he's clingy, because he's showing her lots of attention, more so than an individual that just wants to bang her out one good time and then call her again when it's time to bang her out once more, But once again, and I would like to reiterate that this kind of only works, pulling back your attention, if the woman already likes you. And if she already likes you, why the bloody hell would you need to pull back attention? Well, the reason why is because she's insecure, she didn't have a father in her life, and she needs that constant thrill of obtaining and chasing after your validation in order to feel like she's actually special or means anything. Which again, I conclude, my brothers, don't date women like this.
And they're probably gonna get annoyed with you really fast. Now, a little bit of attention's good, but only give her attention every once in a while. Pull back every so often that she's trying to fight for that attention, if you know what I mean.
Because guys, you have to remember, her father wasn't in her life, so she needs to constantly seek out and try to obtain male attention and validation. So, you just gotta,
Number 3 is flirting. Flirting is a great way to get a girl interested in you.
No, it's not. If the woman is not interested in you and you start flirting with her, that's called sexual harassment. That's harassment right there. Think about all the harassment complaints that lots of young women would make in the workplace because the young males that they're not sexually attracted to were flirting with them. This is horrendous advice. Okay, let's just start from point number 1. What flirting is, and like what flirting really is in general, is a subtle indication of sexual interest, right? Like, flirting is a polite way of saying, I want to have sex with you. That's what it is. It's a playful way of showing your intentions. I like you. I want to have sex with you, right? You can't say that, right, in polite society. You can't just be all like, yo, man, you want some penis? This doesn't work that way, right? So you flirt. You skirt. So flirting is about kind of like skirting the line of what is, socially correct and what's like, sexually attractive. And it's not really something that you kind of can really intellectualize, which is interesting coming from me. I try to intellectualize everything. It is kind of something you have to like mostly play by ear, and something it's something you more pick up and recognize based on the responses that you're getting from the woman. Because when a woman likes you, you can do a lot more. That doesn't mean you can do anything, right? But you can get away with a lot more when a woman is attracted to you. And you just can't really do anything if the woman's not attracted to you. Like, any action you take, even as far as like being nice, if the woman isn't attracted to you, if she perceives that as you flirting, then you're creepy. Like, that's what that is then. So you can't really, if your crush doesn't like you, once again, you can't really, like, flirting with a woman doesn't endear her to you. It's absurd. It's absurd advice, If the woman already likes you, then you flirt, and then you become playful, and then that interest kind of swells and builds up tension, right? Because a little bit of side piece of advice for women. Women are interesting so much as that, like, they don't kind of like sex being outwardly blasted in their face. They kind of more like rising tensions, right? So the best way to get a woman interested in sex is to more feed her through. It's kind of like what's the analogy? The frog in the pan. Or the frog in the pot, if you turn the heat up too high, the frog jumps out, but if you like slowly bring it to a boil, the frog dies, which, now that I say that analogy, but you guys get the point.
Some guys may not know how to flirt, and that's okay. An easy way to do it is just by kind of not picking on her, like don't be mean, but some banter, joking with her, kind of messing with her. Girls always pretend like they're really annoyed by that, but they're lying. They secretly like it. They like when you guys pick on us.
You know, now this is actually really dangerous advice. The reason why is because like not every woman can take a punch, right? Like some women are incredibly insecure and some women are incredibly sensitive. Not every girl likes bantering when it comes to flirting. So again, like I said in the last clip, like that kind of banter thing, you play by ear. You know, you can't, it's all based on the reactions that you're getting while you're talking to the woman. It's not really something that you can like learn from a manual or like something you can learn from reading a book. It's kind of all about it's just about social interactions. You just have to become socially aware of the individual you're dealing with and then see what you can and can't do and play off of her reactions. It's, you know, yeah, you can't go in there thinking that you can jab with every woman, because that's gonna piss some of them off really quickly, and then some women that's gonna turn them on really quickly. It depends, and it's just all you have to experiment and play around with them. Unfortunately, for better or for worse, you don't take that into every encounter with a lady. You kind of have to have your own experiences with women to kind of really understand what is acceptable and what isn't, because it's kind of relative to the woman you're dealing with, really.
Girls will always say that they don't like to be picked on and they hate when when boys make fun of them, but they're lying. They actually like it. They think it's funny.
They'll find it funny if they think you're attractive, sure, but if you're not, then they just find it annoying. So it all is kind of once again predicated on whether or not the woman already likes you to begin with. It doesn't help. It helps you none if the woman just doesn't like you from the beginning.
Number 4, confidence. If you really want to make your crush chase you, you have to be confident in everything you do. If a guy's confident in how he talks, if a guy's confident in what he wears and who he is as a person, every girl finds that majorly attractive. It shows that he's not afraid to show who he is, and basically in general, we just really find confidence hot.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to go over this in its own video again, but confidence is not attractive. Like what a lot of women perceive as confidence is, it's just number one, they just think that the person is attractive, so they just project that the person must also believe highly of themselves. Everyone does this, by the way. It's not even a particularly woman thing, it's just a human thing, you know. People oftentimes talk about like the halo effect, which the halo effect, you know, when looking at attractive people, it's more so like a belief that there's more like a more higher perceived value of that person, or a higher or stronger value of that person based on your sexual desire or your envy to emulate them, you know. But it's not necessarily that you believe, you know, that the person is like smarter or like stronger or anything like that. Like, a lot of people proclaim it that way, but when you really look at it, when you really talk to people, that's kind of mostly what it revolves around. But again, that's more a projection of someone that you think is attractive. So it's not that the individual, for most women, it's not that the individual male is actually confident in himself. Confident meaning that he is assured in his abilities, or assured in what he can or cannot do. That's not really what they're attracted to, you know, because again, if a young man were to show up and do some advanced trigonometry, it's not going to make the woman's nether regions moist, right? If a young man were to come out and talk about how, you know, he can recite, you know, all what presidents in that from George Washington to now, most women, they're not going to be endeared to that, right? You know, because it's not practical. It's not towards resource acquisition. It's not a display of status or anything like that. That's what women are really. Women are more into braggadocio, and women are more into anything that shows that the individual can obtain them something or get them something. Like, women are not into males just being intelligent and confident and understanding the world and speaking from their heart and just saying, this is how it is, I understand that I'm right, I know I'm right. That's not really what endears women, because if you say things they don't like, they're not going to be attracted to you, right? It's just the truth, right? I know from personal experience, women are not interested in your confidence. In fact, if this is a people thing, but a lot of women is, you know, you'll find this more in women than young men. is if they don't think that your confidence has merit, if they don't believe that there's a reason for you to be so self-assured, once again, you become creepy or you become cocky in their eyes. I remember growing up, I remember one of my old friends told me that people believed that I was cocky for no reason. That I had self-assuredness and confidence in myself without any merit. There was nothing that should have made me feel this way, right? So that's how it will be interpreted if the woman does not view you as valuable unto yourself. So once again, all that matters is a woman has to like you to begin with for this to mean anything. So I don't want, and just to be clear for the males, and again, I'll go over this in another video, in its own video, confidence does not exist for other people, it exists for yourself, right? Now, confidence certainly does help other people trust you, but again, confidence is more of a mental state and more mental understanding of yourself. It's not really something that other people can mostly be privy to, like, unless they conversate and have a conversation with you and like talk to you, and then they can see it. But just existing presently so, and even then you can just pretend to be confident and be the most insecure individual in the room. We'll talk about that more in that video, but for now, once again, don't listen to women. Confidence is not attractive. Like, they don't like you. Again, confidently talk about your Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game skills. Confidently talk about how Digimon is a better product than Pokemon. Confidently talk about advanced trigonometry. Confidently talk about history. Talk about medieval Europe. Confidently talk about Rome and confidently talk about philosophy, and see how wet women's nether regions get. It doesn't. It doesn't do anything. So again, all that stuff exists mostly for you and your brain as a young male. Do not listen to any woman or anybody when they say confidence is attractive. It's not. Being attractive is attractive. I'll go over it some more in the future. Yeah, so she has a follow-up video that I will also have to tackle. And also, there's kind of Casey's videos in general. The main young male. I gotta figure out a good way to respond to his content because the videos are pretty long. One of the greatest challenges I've been having lately is finding a way to like respond to different videos like in a digestible manner. Since lots of people complain that my videos are really long, it's really tough because there's just so much to say and I have to make myself clear because lots of people love to misinterpret me. But anyway. In conclusion, guys, understand something very important. And I'm not saying this to discourage you. I'm saying this to quote, empower you, to give you the tools you need to succeed when it comes to navigating relationships with women, all right? So, excuse me. Young men, understand something very, 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 very clear, okay? Women's attraction, our generation of women, like men who are like, if you're like 20 to like 35, okay? In our generation, women's attraction to us, quick, instant, right? Very seldom can you court women. Very seldom can you convince women to like you. Very seldom can you build attraction with a woman. A lot of women in our generation are totally disinterested in being courted, okay? And I'm talking more about courting, what it means, why it's failing, and why women aren't interested. We'll get to that, in future videos. But for now, what you gotta understand is that all the advice that she's given us, and this is the second point too, as to why you never take advice from women, is because they don't know what they're talking about. Plain and simple, okay? She's giving advice to the men that she already likes, the men who are already successful, the men that already want her. She's giving them advice. That's what that is, right? So you can't take advice from women because they're just giving advice to people that are already successful and that they already want. And of course, then the common sense response to that is, well, if the woman already wants you, then why am I doing all this? Exactly. Precisely, exactly. The reason why you will hear women say, just be yourself, right? Is because, again, they like yourself. They like you. Like, you can't ask a woman, how can I get you to like me? It'll never work. Now, women in the past, older women, I've talked to older women about this. Older women can be courted. Older women understood their initial response. Yeah, it can be wrong. Their first impression, it can be wrong. Older women, they sit there and they're like, well, this guy, he's actually really friggin' nice. This guy, he's actually pretty smart too. Like, older women is like, they understand, wow, like, maybe I was wrong at first when I first met this guy. Over time, older women can be changed. And like I say, it's not that there's not a single woman in time and space currently in our generation that's like that. I'm not saying that. They do exist. but they're few and far between, unfortunately, right? And so you have to table your expectations to that young man and understand that if like, here's how you just move quickly in your relationships, for better or for worse. Unfortunately, you got to understand quickly if she's attracted to you. If she is, you can proceed. I don't know why I can't speak. You can proceed. If that initial spark ain't there, you move on. It's just, you could be friends with her if you so desire. You can still chat with her, but you gotta move on. It's time to go, fam. You just keep it moving. If she's not there, she ain't with it. You just gotta move on, you know. And that's just the way it is, unfortunately. For better or for worse, that's the game state right now, and we have to figure out how to play in it. But again, do not take advice from young ladies. They don't know what they're talking about. And usually they're just giving advice to people that they already like, so they just can keep it moving. So they just can keep the engine going. Otherwise, a lot of it just is not helpful if the woman just doesn't like you from the beginning. With that being said, I just hope you guys got something out of today's video. You probably didn't. But if you did, man, you know, go ahead and click the like button. Yeah, shoot, I'm gonna click that. Subscribe button. Comment in the comment box below. And as always, you guys have yourselves a great day. We'll see you cool cats soon. Adios.